time by Sagicor is
7 p.m.
CVM News at 7 headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, Jamaica cautiously optimistic after Trump signs order for marijuana reclassification. Also in the news, the Tourism Housing Assistance Recovery Program brings hope to sector. And the dancehall clash culture ignites debate. Later on in Query This, the call to reform sexual offences law for minors. While in the business report, DBJ's thought leadership driving growth amid disruption. And in sports, Clarendon College punched their ticket to the Byrne Francis Cup final against Cornwall College.
CVM News at 7 headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Should critical illness strike? Don't let worry fill your head. Say hello to happiness and goodbye to worry with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan. Secure your medical expenses in the event of critical illness ahead of time while benefiting from our investment portfolio and so much more. Give yourself and your family the peace of mind you deserve with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan today. And live secure, live easy.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for this Thursday, December 18, 2025. I'm Amoy Harriet. Thanks for joining us. Up first, a move in the right direction. How State Minister in the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Delano Seavright, is reacting to news coming out of the United States this evening that there will be changes to ganja's federal status in the country. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to fast-track the reclassification of ganja from a Schedule 1 drug, which is classified as very restrictive, to a Schedule 3 drug, which is less restricted. Now, this will pave the way for the Food and Drug Administration to study its medicinal uses. Mr. Seavright says the decision could open doors for Jamaica's cannabis industry, particularly in export and investment.
Small amounts of ganja, and of course, we operate a regulated medical, therapeutic, and scientific cannabis system that's overseen by the Cannabis Licensing Authority. However, U.S. federal law and international drug treaties, United Nations drug treaties, have contributed to banking problems everywhere. So we are cautiously optimistic. The real impacts will depend on how this is implemented. But moving away from Schedule 1 is a monumental step in the right direction, and we believe will allow more room for the regulated cannabis space globally to navigate better. So let us see how it all plays out.
With the Christmas season now in full swing, Jamaicans are once again being urged to remain vigilant and take all safety precautions. The reminder comes from the St. Andrew North Police Division, which says it has intensified security measures.
The police have been increasing foot patrols in and around town centres across the island. This in a bid to curtail accusatory crimes like phone and purse grabbing, along with motor vehicle theft. Crime officer for the St. Andrew North Police Division, Deputy Superintendent Glendale Murdoch, is advising members of the public to refrain from sharing their plans on social media and to enhance security at home.
As we enter the Christmas season, we are urging all citizens to practice enhanced vigilance. Do not openly display cash or valuables, cell phone, jewelry. And be aware of your surroundings, especially at the ATMs. Use secure locks, smart cameras, and motion sensors, lighting to enhance your security at home. Inform trusted neighbors if traveling, and avoid posting plans on social media. Larceny of motor vehicle continue to be a great concern to the police. Never leave valuables visible inside your car. Put them in trunk. Always park in well-lit, secure areas and ensure all doors are locked. Invest in trackers and steering lock to harden your security.
In the meantime, security consultant Robert Finzi-Smith is reminding members of the public to minimize traveling with cash and to use cards where possible. He's also advising motorists to park in well-lit areas at night and be mindful where belongings are left in vehicles while running errands.
Where possible, try not to travel with too much cash. Use cards where possible. 2. When you park in an area that's not going to be too dark if you return after dark, and that you can see the car easily from where you're going. 3. Put all your purchases in the trunk rather than dropping them on the back seat while you going around from store to store to make further purchases.
And the JCF says it's working to end the year on a positive note, aiming to keep murders below 700 for the first time in more than 3 decades. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake, along with members of the Police High Command, were on the ground in several parishes today.
We're looking to close the year strong in St. Thomas, and the Commissioner's presence in the space today has been critical. We are currently in the corporate area sections of Area 4 and Area 5 today, because the Commissioner is seeking to engage directly with the members and ensure that the year finishes on a positive note.
Over 700 tourism workers are set to benefit from the government's new housing assistance program. With an initial $70 million set aside, the tourism ministry says the first 100 beneficiaries have already been identified. Joining us in studio to help break this down is our reporter Crystal Williams. Crystal, how exactly will this work?
Well, Amoy, with thousands of tourism workers displaced by Melissa, and it being the largest industry in Jamaica, the government and industry leaders have no choice but to help their workers. Without workers, the chefs at the hotels, the gardeners, the room attendants, the receptionists, the people who make the experience what it is for tourists, there is no industry. So, in this first phase of the Tourism Housing Assistance Recovery Program, THARP for short, 100 hospitality workers will get housing vouchers valued at $100,000 each. They have been structured in 3 separate packages. Here's Portfolio Minister Ed Bartlett speaking at a press briefing earlier this week.
Package A, roofing and light repair to secure the waterproof your home as quickly as possible. Package B, structural repair and foundation support for more serious structural damage. And Package C, general building and interior repair to restore full livability.
The minister says 700 tourism workers are set to benefit from this initial allocation, noting that the first 100 have already been identified. But he insists the government will not stop at vouchers.
We will construct 5 block and steel homes for tourism workers in the first instance, and then a further 10 for those who've lost everything. These are permanent, dignified homes for the men and women who have built Jamaica's tourism industry.
How to redeem your voucher. So when you get your voucher, you can scan. There's a QR code on the back of your voucher. You can scan your voucher and it will correlate where your nearest hardware is.
The minister says this is the start of the bigger social housing program to support tourist workers who have been badly affected for the upcoming year. Tourism workers interested in applying for the housing assistance program can visit the Tourism Enhancement Fund website, that's www.tef.gov.jm, and click on the TEF Initiatives tab. Johan Rampier is Director of Projects at TEF.
The worker who has worked this hard can get close to their location. Jimmy, you can scroll down. All right, the voucher conditions, of course, we have to always deal with our legal aspects. And need to apply, you can apply. So Jimmy, you can click in the apply. The form is very simple. It's not very difficult to go through. We need an email address. We need a way to contact you, your phone numbers. We need an identifier for you, your TRN. For all the people who want to apply, let me be very clear, your TRN is stored safe. So we are actually respecting your privacy and we do not share the TRN with the hardwares. There are many different relief programs out there, and we are focusing, of course, with our tourism workers.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Human rights group Jamaicans for Justice is calling for immediate government action, with children still being locked up for being, quote, uncontrollable. This despite laws passed to end the practice. As Carla MD now reports, the group insists this is not in keeping with the Conventions on Rights of the Child.
2 years after the Child Care and Protection Amendment Act was passed into law, but it is still not enforced. As a result, hundreds of children continue to be brought before the courts instead of receiving support through the Child Diversion Program or community-based interventions. A major concern for human rights watchdog Jamaicans for Justice.
It is intolerable that we still have children who are being incarcerated for behavioral issues that are not criminal offenses. So in other words, you have a child who perhaps ran away from home, a child who is not going to school that would need necessary intervention could find themselves being placed in a juvenile detention facility. This heavy reliance on the courts for behavioral interventions not only does it divert from good resources, because these things could and should be decriminalized, what it means is that our children are being brought before an adversarial court system where early diversion should be the first resort. So for example, if a child has behavioral challenges, we would want the police to first divert that child so that the child does not have to interact with the courts to benefit from the child diversion program.
JFJ is offering legal assistance to review the cases of children in custody and those who have turned 18, aiming to secure appropriate releases or court-ordered interventions. The group is also requesting urgent talks with the Ministry of Education and the Child Protection and Family Services Agency to ensure the law is applied properly.
We believe that it is in the interest of justice that you pause and prevent get rid of the act that currently allows for children to continue to be criminalized. And JFJ, we have offered our legal support to the government so that children who are currently in the custody of the state on the basis of being uncontrollable, they can be brought before the courts. The courts can look on their matters on a case-by-case basis, and the courts could then vary the orders so that those children, where appropriate, could be released to their families and they can benefit from necessary psychotherapy interventions so that we can see improved behaviors and these children can get the necessary support.
JFJ warns that continued detention of children under this outdated law is a serious concern and says urgent action is needed to protect their rights.
We are calling on the government to bring into full force the amendment that was passed no later than January 31, 2026, to prevent further criminalization of children who have committed no criminal offense. Because if we understand collectively that we want to rehabilitate and not institutionalize our children, then fewer children would need to benefit from facilities. And while we appreciate that these facilities that the minister alluded to would need to be fit for purpose, again, the intent of the legislation is that children who are in need of the protection and the care of the state, they should benefit from psychotherapy that they could do so from the non-residential facilities.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
And it's time now for a break, but stay with us. More when we come back.
Digicel is gifting smiles this season. 64 lucky customers will win $250,000 cash, and the third two getting $50,000 in groceries. You can also win Samsung tablets, furniture vouchers, and so much more. Best part, you can keep your prize or re-gift all our partners to someone who really needs a smile. This season isn't just about winning, it's about making sure everybody good. Cash Digicel in your community, bringing gifts and good cheer to keep you smiling into the new year.
I earn smiles and rewards.
I earn hugs and rewards. Use your Sagicor Bank credit card to do all your holiday spending and earn the best rewards ever.
Do you recognize the signs of dengue? Look out for these symptoms: high fever, severe headaches, joint and muscle pain, skin rash, nausea, and pain behind the eyes. If you experience these symptoms, rest, stay hydrated, and take paracetamol for pain relief. If symptoms persist beyond 3 days or worsen, such as persistent vomiting, severe abdominal pain, or difficulty breathing, seek medical attention immediately. Early treatment can save lives. Know the signs, act fast, together we can beat dengue. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness and PAHO.
Here's another tip from Hawkeye to help you secure the season. During the holiday season, events, whether at work or with family, tend to bring together large groups of people, often in unfamiliar or open spaces. One smart way to keep things safe is by having Hawkeye trained security personnel on site. Our guards can help manage entry points, monitor for unusual activity, and assist in emergencies, all while maintaining a calm and welcoming environment. Even for smaller gatherings, having someone focused on safety allows hosts to enjoy the event without worrying about logistics or unexpected disruptions. It's a simple step that can make a big difference in ensuring everyone feels secure and protected. This has been your Secure the Season tip from Hawkeye.
Do it for your best life. Go check your HIV status. So Do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan. Do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life.
Welcome back. We're continuing the news. An ongoing lyrical clash between dancehall DJs Massacre and Tommy Lee Sparta is dominating conversations online and in the streets. As the traditional war season heats up, our reporter Kevin Black has been gauging public reaction and exploring the role of clash culture in dancehall. He now joins us live. Kevin, in your opinion, who's winning the clash?
Well, am I to remain completely neutral and not to upset some of our viewers? I would say dancehall is the true winner. The clash started with Tommy Lee Sparta throwing shade at Massacre on the track Control. Massacre responded with Vain, and since then, both artists have released about 6 songs so far, with Massacre even taking aim at Vybz Kartel. Fans are excited and other stakeholders reason this is just what the culture needs as long as it remains musical. As dancehall's so-called war season heats up, a lyrical clash involving Massacre of the Genocide Camp and Tommy Lee Sparta from Vybz Kartel's Gaza Camp is dominating social media and entertainment conversations across the island.
Massacre and Tommy and me artists squad. And Tommy in the work, and you are gone. Massacre lost, lyrical clash. I think Massacre is more advanced more than that. So when I put it to Tommy, that's it. And it's good for dancers, but glad no physical thing go on.
You don't know, say Tommy Lee dead long time, man. Tommy Lee artist, million artist. Massacre all the way. Who will be on figure work?
Tommy Lee, me not mention your name, cause I be a nice make brother, brawling. I be a and demon and them we don't want a devil in a way. Spiritual and pure level manifestation.
Cultural commentator Clyde McKenzie says clash culture has long been a crucial component of dancehall music, rooted in lyrical competition and artistic expression since the genre's inception.
The fact is that clash is a part of our traditional music culture. We have had this since time immemorial. I think in modern Jamaican music, we can trace it back to Derek Morgan and Prince Buster when, Derek left Prince Buster's table and was working for Leslie Kahn. And there were all these diss tracks that were done on both sides. It is a characteristic of black music in general across the world, It is the banter and the competition and who is better than who and that kind of thing is, a constant refrain in our music culture.
Mr. McKenzie also notes that the digital era has intensified public engagement, giving fans greater access to clashes and a platform to openly share their views. He maintains, however, that once these rivalries remain strictly entertainment and non-violent, they should be allowed to continue.
Today, there is that greater level of participation where people can actually voice their views. If there is a business prospect and people can find some viable way of extracting value from the exercise, why not? As long as nobody is going to be hurt, the public is going to be secure and protected, then I see no reason why people, if they want to be entertained in that fashion, shouldn't be.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Still on entertainment, Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, is once again raising concerns about a recent government proposal to take control of the party permit process, warning it could undermine the authority of local government. He questions what role local government would have left if its core functions are stripped, stressing the importance of maintaining municipal authority. Giselle Mills has more.
In August, Entertainment Minister Olivia Babsy-Grange announced plans to establish a one-stop shop permit system following a proposal for a unified one-road authority. At Tuesday's monthly meeting of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby again lamented that the proposals will undermine the authority of municipal authorities.
That has been announced by the government. One, the creation of a one-road authority, and two, the establishment of a centralized one-stop shop for entertainment permits. Both proposals seems to be clear signal to move to centralization that strengthens the very foundation of local government. We strongly believe that if this is to take place, municipal corporation should be the central authority.
The Kingston Mayor questions what role will remain for local government if its core functions are removed.
The shift of a single central authority of roads and national permit system for entertainment will remove two of our core functions. If roads and events regulation are taken away, what remains with the local government?
The mayor added that municipal corporations already have systems in place to effectively execute these responsibilities.
For many years, municipal corporations have been responsible for local roads, community infrastructure, and the regulation of entertainment events. We have built the system, the capacity, and the partnership to carry out these functions responsibly and efficiently. Municipal corporations have already played an integral role in these processes. We coordinate daily with agencies and work closely with the police, fire, health, and sanitation teams to ensure that these events are safe and compliant. This is not theoretical capacity. It is proven performance.
Giselle Mills, CVM News.
Hanover Charities has joined forces with its overseas-based partner, Grindstone Ministries, to rebuild a number of homes for people displaced by Hurricane Melissa. With hundreds still displaced, the group is promising more help in the near future. We go back to Giselle Mills for the details.
Hanover Charities has joined forces with its overseas-based partner, Grindstone Ministries, to rebuild a number of homes for residents displaced by Hurricane Melissa. Executive Director at Grindstone Ministries, Kyle Minyard, says the many stories of loss have been touching.
And there was a mother sitting beside what was left of her home, a few blocks that she had piled up, and was sitting on a soaking wet mattress, and her infant child was next to her, and she was holding a bucket over the baby's head, and that was the only shade that that child had, because all of the trees were down everywhere in the surrounding area. Whenever I went back home, I described it as, this wasn't a disaster, this is a crisis, and we need to help as best we can.
Catherine Castellet of Hanover Charities notes that when providing food packages to the victims, she realized the needs go beyond food packages.
When, of course, then Grindstone Ministries called us, and Kyle, we didn't even think twice. We immediately jumped on the opportunity, which also taught us a lot. And we had a few Zoom calls while there was still connectivity, etc., which thank God I did have at that time. And we organized a assessment visiting trip for Kyle, which he came down to do early November. And he was literally in the field with some of our team members to assess the damage. What Hanover Charities also has done is we have opened up ourselves as a charitable organization, being registered in Jamaica and also a 501c3 in America, in North America, to be open to those who wish to ship safely and securely via Hanover Charities.
Cassele made another swift decision.
The containers, what we do with Hanover Charities, we actually purchase the containers and then we donate them to any deserving cause on the island.
Both say their charities will continue helping the most vulnerable.
Help is still coming. Don't give up. Don't lose faith. Trust in God, and it'll be okay.
You're not alone. We're all in this together. You're definitely not alone. Hold the faith and there is more help coming.
Druselle Mills, CVM News.
Thank you, Giselle. Joining me now in studio with a preview of what's coming up in sports is Ronaldo Adams. Ronaldo, walk on sports.
Good evening, Amoy, and good evening, viewers. So earlier, I heard you and Kevin discussing clashes, right? So in sports, we're going to have a bit of a clash of our own, as the schoolboy football season is coming to a close. And today, Clarendon College booked their spot in the Ben Francis Cup, where they will play another CC team, the likes of Cornwall College, and that will be on Saturday right here on CVM television. We'll also be previewing and reacting to some more schoolboy football results, and that's in store for sports this evening.
I heard all of the noise that go on today in a studio when the match was playing.
Right, because it was an interesting penalty shootout.
Right, so I'm interested to see all that information a little later on in news sports.
Right.
But it's time for a break. Stay with us. More when we come back.
Celebrate being together with a KFC Festive 9 bucket for $4,500. The time by KFC is
7:30 p.m.
As a fitness guy, I was surprised by my chronic illness diagnosis. I thought working out harder would fix it, but it wasn't enough. Now, my prescription meds are a part of my routine.
When I got my diagnosis, I really felt down and stopped spending time with the people I love. Then I decided not to let any disease get the best of me. And I'm committed to taking my meds as prescribed. On time, every time.
No hesitation. Take your medication. A message from the NHF. NHF is here for health. NHF is here for you.
Do you recognize the signs of dengue? Look out for these symptoms: high fever, severe headaches, joint and muscle pain, skin rash, nausea, and pain behind the eyes. If you experience these symptoms, rest, stay hydrated, and take paracetamol for pain relief. If symptoms persist beyond 3 days or worsen, such as persistent vomiting, severe abdominal pain, or difficulty breathing, seek medical attention immediately. Early treatment can save lives. Know the signs, act fast, together we can beat dengue. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness and PAHO.
People, did you know reducing the use of cash at toll locations makes it safer for everyone involved? Did you also know that using cash costs more? That's why TransJam Highways has a target of having 80% of all trips on the highway be made through the T-tag lane by 2028. By using the T-tag, you avoid the use of cash at the toll plazas and you move quicker through the T-tag express lane. And if for Class 1 and Class 2, you actually pay cheaper toll rates. So use the T-tag lane every time.
Make smart money moves like a winner and use your T-tag every time.
Double the holiday cheer with Frigidaire. Christmas is a time for sharing with family and friends. And this Christmas, Singer gives you a chance to double the holiday cheer with Frigidaire. Buy any Frigidaire item from Singer, valued $30,000 or more plus GCT from December 6th to January 10, and get a chance to be one of 6 winners to share $500,000 in prizes. Upgrade your kitchen with our main prizes of a 5-burner stainless steel stove or a side-by-side refrigerator, or get one of the consolation prizes of a freezer or microwave. Shop now. Conditions apply. See the press for details. Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting Game and Lotteries Act.
Attention motorists, it's time to switch to the T-tag on TransJam Highways. Vehicles using the automated T-tag lane are processed in seconds, so you can pass through the toll plazas far quicker. The T-tag makes it quicker, more cost-efficient, and safer for our customers, so switch to the T-tag today and experience the convenience. T-tag packages are discounted by 50% down to $1,250, including a $500 toll credit from December 8, 2025 until January 2, 2026.
Welcome back now to the Business Report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the Business Report today. Not about what caused the over $8 billion worth of damage inflicted upon the Jamaican landscape and economy as a result of the terror of Hurricane Melissa, but instead about the way forward, in recollection of the thought leadership that was presented by Managing Director of the Development Bank of Jamaica, Dr. David Lowe, facilitated by the JMMB Group, where the private sector were urged to rethink conventional strategies and embrace resilience-driven models capable of driving growth amid disruption.
We cannot control the forces of nature, but we can control how we prepare, how we respond, and more importantly, how we move forward. This moment demands a leadership that is bold, pragmatic, and visionary. Leadership that sees beyond destruction and towards possibilities. And if we act with purpose, we can emerge not only as a recovered nation, but a more competitive, a more resilient, and more united than we've been before. So to drive growth in such an environment, we cannot rely on the traditional playbook. In times that many of us would have gone through academic training, whether undergrad or graduate studies or postgraduate studies, we understand that the reality that is faced with it, that the playbook of old has no relevance in current nor future environment.
As the JMMB's Thought Leadership Breakfast brought together industry leaders, the essence of Dr. Lowe's presentation was intended to provide food for thought well into the future.
During disruption, the unfortunate thing happens. Private capital retreats, risks increase, whether through insurance or other types of perceptions, and of course, economic activity becomes stalled. The shock of what happens is what engulfs us.
But what occupies the thought of the DBJ is based on 6 strategic pillars, some of which were explored in detail through the prism of the DBJ's M5 program.
We cannot rebuild the past, nor should we be motivated to. We must build the future, which means that we must consider reconstructing infrastructure as the first thing, with climate resilience standards, relocating and redesigning strategic assets, looking at high-risk zones versus how we shift to protect against future disruptions, introduction of smart grids, flood-resistant roads, more resilient housing, and of course, more stronger water systems. The second is that we must restore economic stability through targeted support.
And the central theme of the third pillar.
How do we use climate recovery as a platform for new growth?
He used the example of renewable energy, climate-smart and resilient agricultural infrastructure, as well as digital transformation, before segueing into the critical fourth pillar.
The next thing is to discuss how the financial architecture of the country needs to evolve. And this is also very important. Because a resilient economy must be able to withstand a climate shock of varying degrees. And the issue is always about how quickly you rebound, the point at which you move from impact to some recovery and continuity.
Through instruments like catastrophe bonds and risk-sharing mechanisms, which have already demonstrated potential to safeguard against future shocks.
So I would say that this is not really a financial strategy. It's really a national security strategy, because it has to be able to complement and support all of the dreams that exist in this room and outside of this room as we move forward.
Building on these foundations, the DBJ Managing Director extended the construct to cover the empowerment of communities and the building of human capital by potentially creating alternatives to debt financing in support of entrepreneurship and innovation, before revealing the 6th pillar as the strengthening of institutions as well as improved real-time data for enhanced response. It is
every dollar that is spent must be used towards reducing future vulnerability.
Is this mindset of turning disruption into opportunity that both the JMMB and the DBJ hope to inspire, aware that not only their fellow Jamaicans, but the world is watching.